Welcome in, Iowa Hawkeye football fans, to another episode of the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. I am Luke Myers, and Hawkeye fans, it hurt a little bit this week. It hurt a lot of bit this weekend watching that Hawkeye game. It wasn't exciting like any other games this season outside of the Ohio State game. And it was a very winnable game for the most part. The Hawkeyes were right in it all the way up until the end. But they just couldn't get anything going on offense until the very end of the game when they snuck a touchdown in there. But it was just painful to watch. We learned some things this weekend also. The secondary outside of Josh Jackson on the other side of the field from Jackson, not very good, and that has resulted in a Manny Rugamba benching. He will not start this weekend against Nebraska. Matt Hankins will start over Rugamba, and they were just exposed. It didn't matter who they were put over there. Purdue was taking advantage of that mismatch and just keeping away from Jackson altogether. Iowa never made an adjustment, and it really got to him as the scoreboard resulted. Offense was brutal once again. I'm not sure what to say about it. The Hawkeyes didn't have much yardage. They had like 450-something against Ohio State a couple weeks ago, 66 last week at Wisconsin, and then I believe it was just over 200 this week against Purdue on Senior Day. Let's get to the scoring summary. Purdue would jump out to a 7-0 lead after a DJ Knox 5-yard touchdown reception. Quarterback did a good job for Purdue of scrambling, just keeping the play alive and finding Knox in the back of the end zone. It was 7-0. In the second quarter, Budgeta got a safety for the Hawks to trim the lead down to 5 for Purdue. 7-2 was the score. And then very next drive, Akram Wadley would get a 2-yard touchdown run, and Iowa would take the lead into halftime 9-7. In the third quarter, Mahungo had a 42-yard reception and then a 16-yard touchdown reception. That would push the lead up to 14-9 and 21-9. Those two touchdown receptions were huge, and Purdue would never look back from there. They would add a field goal in the fourth quarter, 27-yarder from Dellinger, make it 24-9. Fant would catch a 6-yard touchdown reception with about a minute to go. They could have kicked the extra point there instead of going for 2 to make it the extra point would have made it an 8-point game. Instead, they went for 2, and that was basically all she wrote after that. The final score was 24-15. Purdue comes out of Iowa City with a win, and that doesn't happen a lot. Iowa only lost 2 games in Kinnick this season. Look at some stats here. Akram Wadley had 78 yards and a touchdown and only 1 catch and 11 yards. That's very down game for Akram Wadley. They just weren't targeting him in the passing game, and he's been their leading receiver all year. You think they'd go to that, he's get it in his hands, let him use his elusiveness to stay away from defenders, but they did not do that. And then Josie Jewell, Senior Day, he did his best to keep the Hawks in this. 13 tackles, 2 sacks. 3 tackle for losses, 3 passes defended, drew a holding penalty, and had some time to go up and get a burrito from Poncheros and eat it in the meantime. No, I'm just kidding about that last part, but he had a very outstanding Senior Day, and we're going to miss him a lot, but he's going to do a lot of good stuff at the next level in the NFL. Give it to Purdue, they played very well. Elijah Sindler, their second string quarterback, had 229 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions against this Iowa defense. And Anthony Mahungo had 7 receptions, 135 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The best performance any wide receiver has had against this Iowa secondary all year. It just wasn't a good game, and it's kind of been the story of this season. We lose to the teams we shouldn't, but somehow we managed to put up 450 yards against the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm just dumbfounded by kind of what I've seen over the last couple of weeks after an amazing performance against the Buckeyes, but it was just a very disappointing game, but hey, we still have 1 left on the schedule, and we'll preview that after these interviews coming up here, but stay tuned and listen to a couple ads from our sponsors. As a small business owner, you know tax season is not nearly as exciting as Iowa game day. With Peak Rich Partners, you won't have to worry about the stress of tax season. Peakridge Partners takes the stress of tax and accounting off of your shoulders, allowing you to focus your time on maximizing your business's potential. Our cloud-based bookkeeping system will allow you to stay on top of your tax and accounting needs. When you choose Peakridge Partners, you have the ability to access all your bookkeeping information at any time, on any mobile device, allowing you to communicate with us 24/7. Choose Peakridge Partners. We save small businesses time and money. Go Hawks! Cobra Lanes in Farley, Iowa is now open for the year. Come out and bowl at the 8-Lane Family Fun Center. Want a new bowling ball? Visit the pro shop and have it drilled by owner Al Heiberger. Want some dinner? Order some food from the kitchen and eat it in their dining area. Want to have a good time? Visit their bar for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Roll on down to Cobra Lanes in Farley for a great time.
Yep.
Thanks for staying tuned to the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. This is Hawkeye Elvis. Everybody knows who this guy is. Follow him on Twitter. So, what do you think of the Hawkeyes this season?
You know what, Luke? We've had a few ups, had a few downs. Had a big win a couple weeks ago. Ready to get back on that winning track, win these last 2 games, and cruise on into bowl season.
I was pretty lucky having Kirk Ferentz. He pretty much will keep them around 8 wins every year, and can't really complain about that.
No, not at all. I mean, there's a lot of teams that would kill to have 7-8 wins a season as a baseline. Hell, look at half teams in the conference.
Yep. So we have Purdue today. What do you think about this matchup?
I think we're gonna derail those Boilermakers, knock them right off the tracks, and steamroll them with a little Akron Wadley on the ground.
All right. So what do you got going on your tailgate?
Oh, it's Iowa. You know, got a little fireball, got a little bush light, a bit of grilling, and hanging out, just waiting for kickoff to start.
Sounds like a great time. But so you want some trivia questions?
Yeah, lay one on me.
All right. There are currently 3 players on Iowa's football roster who are from New Jersey. One of them's Brandon Simon. The other 2 are on offense. Who are they?
Akron Wadley.
Yep.
Who is the other one from New Jersey?
Why?
Oh, not Tornion?
Nope.
IKM.
Yeah. Amir. Yeah. Amir Smith Arcette. There we go. And the second question is, it's a basketball question. Who are the last 3 Iowa Hawkeye basketball coaches?
Okay. Well, we had Todd Leclerc.
Yep.
We had Steve Alford.
Steve Alford, and it's the current coach.
And Coach Brent McCaffrey, Dr. Tom Davis before that.
Yep.
George Raveling.
Oh,
Lute Olson.
This guy's
keep going, baby.
Yeah, there you go. How about, hey, thanks for coming on the show, and go Hawks.
No problem. Go Hawks, baby. Thanks for having me.
Yep, we're going.
All right, guys. Next up on the Hawkeye Tailgate Report is
Matt? Adam.
Where are you guys from?
Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Quad Cities, Iowa.
Quad Cities, all right. So, Hawkeyes coming in today. A very disappointing loss last weekend against Wisconsin. I was expecting a better effort. What did you think?
You know, we were riding high after that Ohio State game. A little nervous of potential letdown. Defense showed up a little bit. Offense, unfortunately, did not as much. But they played all right. Hopefully they redeem themselves today against Purdue.
Josh Jackson was the only one that went to Madison last weekend. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fair point. We got 66 yards of offense last week. You like the over today?
You hope we get overs today. We'll see.
All right.
See.
I would agree with that.
What do you think of this Purdue game today?
Purdue's better than they have been, but I still think we can win.
Agreed. Yeah, they got a solid defense. They're down David Blau today, but their co-starting quarterback, if you will, got a pretty good arm on him. We'll see how it goes.
All right. So you got a prediction? Score-wise?
Yeah, I'll do. I think the spread is 7.5. Last time I checked,
Yep.
We'll go Iowa 31, Purdue 21.
All right.
28-17 Iowa.
28-17 Iowa. Love it. But what's going on in your guys' tailgate today?
You know, it's kind of kind of a bittersweet tailgate for us today. So we this area here we've been at for I think 12 years now. Unfortunately, it's being taken over, if you will, by a hotel corporation. They're going to build a hotel here, which is unfortunate. But we've had a lot of good times here. So
it's our last hurrah. We've been here since 06, so this is our last hurrah in this area.
Gotta send it out on top.
Absolutely.
All right, so you guys ready for a couple trivia questions?
All right.
Hit us with it.
All right, this one's a basketball question first. Who are the last 3 Iowa Hawkeye basketball coaches?
Starting with the current one?
Yeah, current
Including
one.
Fran McCaffrey.
Including France, that's one.
McCaffrey, Leclater, and Alford.
Yeah.
That is right. Next question we got for you is, there are 3 people from the football roster who are from New Jersey. One of them is Brandon Smith. Who are the other 2?
Brandon Smith from New Jersey?
Simon.
Brandon Simon.
Brandon Simon, okay,
Yeah, sorry.
gotcha.
Yeah.
You're good. Akram Wadley is from New Jersey. And let's see.
So do we need one more or 2 more?
One more.
Let me ask you, is he a starter?
Can you give away
Offense.
Wide receiver.
Oh yeah, Amir Smith-Marset.
Amir Smith-Marset is correct.
Absolutely.
But thanks for coming on the show, guys. and
Cheers,
go
guys.
Hawks.
Appreciate it. Yeah, go Hawks, man. Go Hawks, guys.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Next up on the Hawkeye Tailgate Report is,
Jeff.
Delane.
Kyle.
where are you guys from?
Des Moines.
Iowa City.
Iowa freaking City.
There we go. Iowa frickin' City.
Woodshed, Iowa.
Woodshed, Iowa. Just got this shirt in the
I
mail the other
know.
day. But Hawkeyes kind of having their regular year. They lose a couple games they shouldn't, but they win a game they definitely shouldn't win. What do you think of them so far this season?
I think they've been fun to watch. I think there's a lot of potential. Hopefully the younger kids on the team will learn this year and give us another exciting year next year.
I have to agree. She said it all. Didn't expect a whole lot this year, so.
It's a growing year. I think a lot of people expected 6 wins. I think we get 8. We're doing well. Ohio State was an anomaly, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, but that was the best ever.
But you know what?
Greatest game I've ever seen.
I've sat through other ones that didn't go that way.
I did snow angels in the end zone.
That's awesome. That's
We
awesome.
didn't get to tear down the goalposts like we did back in the 80s, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What are you looking
So what's going on in your guys' tailgate here today?
Alcohol.
Well, we accidentally brought a bunch of Purdue fans. So
That's all right.
We're
they're
trying
all
to be
back
nice.
there. Yes, we're trying to be nice. My
It
best
could be
friend,
ugly after the game, depending on the way it turns out.
my best friends from Indiana, they're here. Purdue grad. Actually, his nephew plays for Purdue.
All right. That's kind of cool. You guys got a prediction for the score today?
35-10 Hawks.
35-10.
Cool. I'm going to say 24-12.
24-12.
24-10 as well. So.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you guys think we'll get over the 66 yards we did last week against Wisconsin.
Absolutely. As
That'll
long
happen in the first series.
All right.
If not, I'm going to go down and have to put me in. I'll get us there.
Jeff has eligibility.
and defense needs to score.
Yeah.
Love
Yes.
it when defense
Well, we've
scores.
been doing that a lot lately. But you guys ready for a couple trivia questions?
Sure.
We'll give it a shot.
One of
No
them's
problem.
basketball, one of them's football. Which one do you want first?
Let's go football.
All right. 3 players on Iowa's current roster for the football team are from New Jersey. One of them's Brandon Simon. Who are the other 2?
Akram Wadley.
Akram Wadley's one of them.
Wow. You pulled that one up real quick.
He's an offensive player,
I'm
wide receiver.
Smith Martin.
Smith-Marset.
Smith Marset, yeah.
Smith-Marset, that's who it is. But guys, think.
Do we
Oh
win?
wait, no, you get the basketball question.
Oh my
too.
God.
All right, basketball question. Who are the last 3 Iowa Hawkeye basketball coaches? Including Fran.
Then the guy from Butler. No, the guy from Butler. He was last year before Fran.
Yeah, what was his name?
I can't remember what his Kim was like.
He was
His skin was terrible. What the hell's his name?
Licklider.
Licklider. Yeah.
His Kim, we used to call it, what was the guy in the Saturday morning cartoons with Bugs Bunny, the Sam, they used the cowboy guy?
Yosemite Sam?
Yosemite Sam. He was like a Yosemite Sam of basketball, because he was really shooting. I'm going to shoot over on Oh, God, he was awful.
Well, thanks for coming on the show and go Hawks.
All right, go Hawks.
Thank you. Yep, thanks a
Awesome, good
lot.
luck.
All right, next up on the Hawkeye Tailgate Report is,
Mark Phillips.
where are you from?
Well, originally from Farley, Iowa.
Yep.
Live in Bondurant, Iowa now.
All right.
By divorce.
All right, so what do you think of the Hawks so far?
I'll take it. About where, on par where I thought it would be. The Ohio State win was fun, unexpected. However, last week was a little disappointing.
You like the over on the yards today? 66 yards? Think we beat it?
If we can't beat that, I might cry.
All right. So what's going on in your tailgate here?
Got a little beer pong going on. We just got some random crap going on. same shit, different, another week.
All right, so I don't know the exact address of this place, but how long have you been coming here?
This has got, 7 years now?
We'll call it 7.
7-ish.
Yeah. All right. So, what are you gonna do for next year? This lot's getting bought out. This is the last time people will be able to party here.
It's a great question. We don't know. We'll figure it out here in the next coming, months. But
All right.
hopefully we find something good, somewhere close.
All right. You're doing a good job of staying focused. A couple of the gentlemen behind him are.
They don't bother me.
Yeah,
they don't bother me.
They're fondling my cameraman's
Your
nuts.
mom's hot.
It happens.
But all right. So, you ready for some trivia questions?
Let's try it.
All right. You want basketball or football first?
Doesn't matter.
All right. We'll go with basketball. Who are the last 3 head coaches for the Hawkeyes, including the current coach? So 3.
McCaffrey, Licklider, Alford.
Boom, he got it. Next question. There are 3 people currently on Iowa's football roster from New Jersey. One of them is Brandon Simon. Who are the other 2?
Oh my good lord. Wadley from there.
Wadley.
steps.
Wadley is one of them.
Oh jeez.
Wide
He's on the offense, wide receiver.
God, he's a freshman.
Caught the game-winning touchdown
He loves to have
against
sex
Iowa
with
State.
women. He's got 2
Oh,
last names.
Marset.
Smith
Marset.
Marset. That is correct.
I have no idea what the other one is.
No, that's 3, yeah. Brandon Simon, Wadley, and
Oh.
Smith Marset.
I thought you were asking me for 3.
No, yeah. No, there's 2.
Okay, I got you. All right.
That's all we got. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Hey, no problem. Absolutely.
Joey, don't
Great.
quit recording. To get a good shot here of Kenny.
Get
Get one more shot for this lot right here.
Woo! 901 Melrose. Go
Here,
Hawks.
pour one out for him. Pour one out for 901.
Oh gosh,
901 Melrose,
there's
everybody.
a lot of good men out there.
And can you believe it, Iowa Hawkeye fans? We are finally at the last game of the regular season, at least, and the Hawkeyes will be traveling to Lincoln, Nebraska for the Battle of the Heroes Trophy, the Heroes game this weekend. This game has lost a lot of appeal. You look at it just a couple years ago, both these teams were national treasures, but since then they both kind of dropped off. Nebraska's gone through a coaching change, and they're still trying to recover from that. Looking at the stats this season, Nebraska is better than Iowa offensively, but worse defensively, giving up around 35 points a game. Iowa's rolling into this one 3.5-point favorites. Not that that really matters, but for all you gambling folks out there, just keep an eye on that line as it continues to adjust. Fairly good passing team is Nebraska. Tanner Lee, they usually have good quarterbacks, and Tanner Lee has done a really good job this year of finding wide receivers, and they have 2 that really stand out. Stanley Morgan Jr. and J.D. Spielman each have over 800 receiving yards this season. Now, if you're Iowa, Josh Jackson's not going to be able to cover both of these guys. So, as I mentioned before, Matt Hankins, I believe he's a freshman, is going to start lined up across from Jackson, so he's going to have to step up, play some good D. We're going to need some safety help for maybe on Hankins' side to support that a little bit. He's young. He's going to make a few mistakes, but if we can manage that, keep those guys intact, our defense is going to keep us in the game. I mean, that's been the story of every game this season. Defense has been able to keep them to around 20 points a game, and that's nice. When you have a defense like that, it's pretty reliable. You just got to go out there and score a few points. Hey, maybe our defense can even score a couple points. But Hawkeyes taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers this weekend, looking to stay above 500. We don't want to drop to 6-6. We want to go to 7-5. But that wraps up this edition of the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Look us up on YouTube. Thanks for listening, guys, and go Hawks.